So it cut off because my storage went low. I've just deleted some stuff. So we'll only be on for a few minutes. We didn't rate out of 10 yet. So we'll talk a little bit more.
I haven't got anything else, I don't think.
So with the conspiracies, some people think obviously Sullivan did it or Mafia did it. He was in trouble with the mob. I know one reporter said that to Jericho on Jericho's podcast because he couldn't get round to the point where he would kill his own son because he's seen him with his son and how loving he was to him. But yeah, and then people think Sullivan did it, the Mafia did it, or invaders did it, and the intruders did it.
And I will say, if it cut off in the last one, people need to stop with the conspiracy bullshit. They need to.
I've sent you the videos and you don't watch them.
No, I don't.
I watch them right. I'm just curious to see why they think it, right? Why they think it. That's the interest what I have. I just have the interest in why they think it, and that's why I watch them.
And for me, I know people don't want to think it because of
or
how
believe
much
it, yeah.
they loved that character, but
I didn't want to believe it. None of us did.
No.
But when the reality came out of it, it was just reality, wasn't it?
And I think that's what I get it. I understand why people want to have conspiracy theories. I do get it. But I think it's enough times passed for people to stop with their shit, accept the reality. You don't have to agree to it, because nobody will agree to it because that was horrible. But the facts are, unfortunately, 3 people died that night. Well, that weekend, 1 person chose to do it.
But something, all of them got taken out, and he didn't do it.
The conspiracy theorists, I do think they need to shut up now.
But yeah, some of them think, he's innocent, and some of them think he never did it. That he was framed. I've heard stories like he was framed. People tied him up, killed his family, and made it look like then they killed him, and then tied him up to by the neck and made it look like he killed himself. And we did discuss in the other video, there is cases where someone's been murdered and it's made look like an accident, like the few I told you about, the woman in the river. There is cases like that. But how Matt sees it is, I think there's a couple of things where I think there could be more to it. The Texas mainly. I don't think he did that, but we'll get into that in a minute. But why he thinks Benoit did it is because you think if he was innocent and he didn't do it, you think on that night, that Friday night, you think he would have got killed then, don't you?
They all would have died on the same night.
If it was intruders trying to nick the money, or if that did happen, say if intruders did break in the house that Friday night and tied them up and said, to scare Benoit and say, we'll kill your wife and your son, tell us where the safe is, where all the money is.
And the fact if David even knows the truth, and the fact if David knows what happened, and he believes
he thinks people are crazy who think he didn't do it.
There you go.
Yeah, he said it to not David, he said it to Chris Van Vliet. Because
So
Chris Van Vliet talked about the conspiracies.
Right.
He mentioned it to him, and David said, they're just crazy. They're crazy.
And if your own son's saying it, so all the theorist people out there who probably will watch this, if his own son was calling you basically mental.
He had suspicions about Sullivan at first, because he knew about the history with Sullivan and his dad.
Just because...
No, I'm getting into this. And he did say on an interview that, because Chris Van Vliet talked about one of the conspiracies, and he said, something, Sullivan did it for revenge for you stealing Nancy, for your dad stealing Nancy off him. And that is a motive, a bit.
Not that.
No, but to some that's a motive, revenge. But for what he did to stealing,
he only broke him up, so it's not.
Yeah. But something he did do it. I know you don't, but some have said he's done it.
I know.
Yeah.
But if David don't even believe it.
No, but he did get them looked. He did get Sullivan looked into to see where he was on that day.
But nothing came through.
But nothing came through. No.
There you go.
He wasn't there on that day.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Conspiracy ended.
to do with Sullivan, yeah.
Well, the whole thing, to be honest.
Yeah. But you think with the tide what I do think that's what a kidnapper would do with the tide, with the arms.
I think that was Chris. And to be honest, we've done all this review. Is there any... What are we even going to be talking about tomorrow?
Which talk about what happened and probably what happened after. With
We talked about everything.
we'll talk about what happened on the documentary more likely. But that'd be part 2. But I forgot what I was gonna say now.
What's going to do the review? No, not a review, fucking the score.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else. What was I gonna say? Right. This is what I think might be more to the case. And he thinks this is weird as well. The Texas, right? I don't think he sent them. I think he was already dead when that was sent. And I think someone went in the house, one of his friends or the neighbours, and I think they seen them all dead, and they text people on his phone book to say the dogs are outside, they're near the pool, to get people to come to the house. That's like a sign to come to the house. So much happened. So I think people's done that. Someone's done that who don't know who Chavo was or other people was on the phone book. And I think they were alerting them. That's where the address is. That's where the dogs are left. Come to the flat. Come to the house. And I think someone sent that on both phones. And I think it was the neighbour. I think the neighbour went in the house. And I think she seen what happened. And she texted people to come. I don't think he did the texts. Because he could have just called them and said, they're here. I've done it. But he never admitted it, I don't think. He died. He killed himself on the Sunday. So he could have admitted it any time, but he chose not to. He just ended his life on the Sunday night. And I think he was thinking about going to the show because he was talking to WE about getting a flight to there. But in the end, he just ended his life and didn't want to carry no more. And I think he should have just ended his own life and left other people alone.
And that's the thing. If he would have just killed himself and left 2 innocent people alone, that would have been fine.
Yeah, it would have been.
I could have easily forgiven that.
So, what about the texts? Do you think he sent the texts? I don't.
No, probably not.
You don't think he did send them texts then?
No, it probably was the neighbour who came in afterwards.
And seen what happened. So you don't actually agree with the police that he sent the texts? I don't think he did.
Well, if the police said it, they should have all the information, so you can't really default that. But...
You think it makes more sense someone texting his own address when he knew Chavo already knew Chavo knew his address?
Obviously, they would have hanged out a lot.
Yeah. So I think someone went in there, one of his friends or the neighbours, and put in the address, and then the dogs were outside.
But there was no proof to it.
No, there isn't. And there's also the rumour where the phone went missing. The Benoit phone went missing.
To be fair, the neighbour could have even took that.
Yeah, possibly. So, yeah, that's a bit wary. And another thing is they were all drinking, and Benoit had no alcohol in his system.
But like you said,
then again, maybe Nancy was drinking. Maybe he didn't drink that.
She was a heavy drinker.
Yeah. But we've talked about the conspiracies. It got heated at times, but how Matt sees it, and I think I agree with him. I've said what I think, a bit more to what I think there is, but I think, like he said, if Benoit was innocent, he would have died more likely the same day as the others, and then not sure that there probably would have been more of a mess everywhere, like things would have been stolen stuff there. If it was, say, a break-in or intruders. But I think some people just don't want to accept their hero was a double kill.
And that's the thing.
That's what Kevin Sullivan said. He said, I don't think they want to accept what he did, and that's why they're looking at. That's why they blame me. They think I did it.
Yeah, people want to believe their own shit.
Yeah. But hope you enjoyed the discussion. That's the first. That's the part one. We'll cover part two. It won't be as long. We'll just talk about what they talked about, and we'd rate part two. But Matt's dreading that. But we'll get it done, and we'll also try and might do after if we've got time. New Jack. That'd be an interesting one.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I can't be asked. Really don't care about the Chris one.
Do you want me to do that on my own? I'll do that on my own if you want.
We'll see how tomorrow comes.
Okay. Alright, I'll rate it out of 10 then you. I'll give this...
I haven't got a rating.
I'll give this 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good documentary. They talked about the rise and fall of Eddie, the rise and fall of Chris. It was interesting. And people, if you don't know, people who were on this documentary was Vicky Guerrero.
She's no queen anything around. So.
No. Chris's son, David Benoit. You got tense looking at him, didn't you?
I didn't look at him once.
But when he was on there and you seen him briefly, you got tense, didn't you? You looked away.
I went straight on my phone.
Yeah. Not that he has anything against David, do you? You don't. You just... Because he does look... If you've seen a photo of him and you've seen a photo of Chris, he looks double of Chris. He does look double of his dad.
I couldn't look at it.
Yeah, so he can't look at David because it reminds him of his dad, don't it? It reminds you of Chris. Yeah, and he knows David's done nothing wrong, don't you? You know, he's an innocent party in this. He's done nothing wrong. And he's lost his brother, you know, and his stepmom. Yeah. So we've got a lot of sympathy for him. Matt does. He's got some sympathy for him. But you don't help himself sometimes with things he says.
Sometimes he puts his foot in his own mouth.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But I thought it was a good documentary. And it was interesting. I knew everything already, but it was interesting. It's very emotional, though. It's a sad situation. But in a way, that should be called part one, not Benoit part one. It should be Rise and Fall of Eddie Guerrero as well, shouldn't it? Because it was basically how them two met and then how Eddie died. So I don't think Eddie would need his own documentary because that was pretty much covered in that part one. So, so what would you rate out of 10 then? You've seen it before, so what did you think to it before then?
I can't remember what I thought about it before.
Because you did watch it before. You taught yourself into it and then did watch it.
I don't actually have a rating because I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch much of it, so I don't actually have a rating.
But you did see some of it, bits of it.
Not much at all.
You heard bits of it.
Little bits, but I don't know.
He got really tense when he talked about the kid being a good dad, because you thought, didn't you, that if a good dad wouldn't kill their son. I agree with you on that.
When he said, yeah, I was like, yeah, give him a fucking medal.
Before he was a good dad, but after that weekend, no.
So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to rate this documentary or the other one tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to rate.
But it wasn't boring though, was it? It was interesting. It was just, it just got you tense, didn't it? But it wasn't boring at all.
No.
They talked about Eddie. You enjoyed the Eddie stuff, didn't you? You watched bits of the Eddie.
For the Eddie stuff, I'll give it a 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
That's the best you're going to get from me.
Yeah, but he just didn't enjoy it at all. He found it hard to watch. But I said to him, if you don't want to cover part 2, I can do that on my own. That's fine. Then New Jack, do you want to do that? You don't want to watch part 2, do you?
I'm more focused on the New Jack. Even though he was an arsehole, and maybe one of the most biggest arseholes in wrestling history.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that one.
We'll see. He'd decide at the time.
Well, he'll try and talk me into it like this one.
Yeah. But it wasn't a bad documentary, was it? I think your emotions got the better of you, didn't they, in this? It did, didn't it? In this one. It got the better of you, didn't it? Where you just kept looking on your phone, and I think it didn't help seeing both Benoits looking like each other. It reminds you of the tragedy, doesn't it?
Yeah. And when people try to give him compliments, I was like, fuck off.
But one thing we do agree on is if Eddie was still alive...
I don't know.
That's a maybe, ain't it? In between. Look, we think maybe Eddie could have guided Benoit away from Nancy if Benoit wasn't happy.
I think we would hope.
Hope, and we think maybe that could have been prevented.
But we don't know.
Also, another thing what I did find out is if Benoit did survive, say he did go to jail or he didn't do it,
I would have been fine with that.
or if he didn't do it and he carried on wrestling or not, moved out of Nancy's house and went to live with his dad, he was going to die. He was dying. He had an enlarged heart. The medical said on an old documentary I watched, it was mainly medical what Benoit took and everything. And he had an enlarged heart, like Eddie did. And he was going to die around the start of 2008. So he was dying. But yeah, he wouldn't have been around long after.
If he did that,
Yeah.
his legacy would be intact.
Yeah, it would.
Woman's legacy would still be intact. So, unfortunately.
That's what Vicky Guerrero says in part 2, which we'll cover tomorrow. Is he should, so be it. He should have ended his life, and then he didn't have to take 2 others with him.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've done this. This was a really hard topic for Matt, wasn't it? Because it's personal to you. It's not that he has a connection. It's to him. To him, Benoit nearly killed something you loved, and that's why you hate him, don't you? That's why you feel angry when you see him or hear him. Is that mainly why? Two reasons. You nearly killed something you loved, and you killed a kid and a woman. Yeah. But that's why you can't separate the person to the performer. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the discussions. It got tense at times. We've had arguments before about it. We didn't fall out, but it was tense one time. I think because I praised a match and then you buried him, said he's a murderer, and I said, I can still enjoy him. But you said, no, I can't. And then we just, it got heated. And
I've tried.
Yeah, it's understandable. But yeah, that's the document. That's the review. We'll do part 2 tomorrow. But if you don't want to, I might just do that when he goes. See how we both feel. But we will do New Jack. New Jack's going to be a fun one. And depending on the time, we might watch a wrestling movie. Don't know. What time you got to go soon? Midday? Midday. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. We had a lot to talk about. Different things. Mainly the conspiracies we were talking about. Yeah. But anyway. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye for now.